Hello, I'm United States Senator Saxby Chambliss, and thank you for joining me today for my weekly YouTube address. This week on the floor of the Senate, we hope to wrap up the Farm Bill, which is the 5-year policy for United States agriculture that we hope to set in place. Agriculture is the #1 industry in our great state of Georgia, and it's important that we provide the right kind, and I emphasize that, safety net for farmers and ranchers all across America. In this Farm Bill, we're going to make the necessary changes to ensure that American agriculture and the policies associated with it continue to move in the direction of being more market-oriented. That's where farmers want to get their source of income, and they want to make sure that we don't do anything in Washington to hinder their ability to have their streams of income coming from the marketplace versus coming from Washington. In addition to the Farm Bill, we're going to have under discussion in Washington this week, particularly in light of the President's address on Thursday, the issue of terrorism, the issue of drone strikes, and the issue of release of prisoners from Guantanamo and the President's continued proposal to close Guantanamo Bay prison. Let me just say that I remain unalterably opposed to the closing of Guantanamo Bay, and the reason I do is that we have 166 prisoners remaining there. Folks, these are the meanest, nastiest people in the world. They wake up every day seeking to do harm to America and Americans. And if they are released, that's exactly what they're going to do. And why do I say that? Because it's been stated publicly by the administration that 28% of those who have been released from Guantanamo in previous years have returned to the fight, seeking to kill and harm Americans. That's simply not sustainable. The President is proposing releasing a certain number of these detainees to Yemen, for example. And we know for a fact that the Yemenis do a terrible job of providing any kind of oversight to these individuals. So as we move forward, we're going to make sure that prisoners at Guantanamo are treated the way they should be treated, that is, as a prisoner of war, which is what they are, but that we want to make sure that they remain incarcerated and do not have the ability to return to the fight. With respect to the use of drones, as the President has addressed in his speech, you know, this is becoming more and more of a necessary tool in the war on terrorism. And I look forward to dialoguing with the administration as we move forward with the changes that the President has proposed. We may agree on some of those changes. We may disagree on some of those changes. But that's what the two bodies, the administrative body and the legislative body, were designed for. And we look forward to dialoguing with the President to establish the right kind of policies in fighting the war on terrorism and being successful in the years ahead. Because what we want to make sure of is that the next generation of Americans inherit the same great America that my generation inherited. And we want to do everything we possibly can as policymakers here in Washington to ensure that the next generation inherits a safer and more secure America. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time.